I need to start a towing business. I've been working this quite a bit. So, we got a Husky to work on. The deal with this is the left side safety switch is messed up. So as soon as you pull that in to move, it shuts it right off. But the major problem is the hangers for the mowing deck. One side broke, the other side's about to break. Mowing deck is all the way up. And you can see it's at quite an angle. So I need to go clean the garage up. We'll get this put on the lift, get the front end picked up, and see what we got to work with. So let's get to work. My name's Jeremy. Welcome to HP Small Engine. Oh, just enough room. Perfect. Aha! Great, now I gotta push this thing. Hurt. Tine. There we go. Oh. Ting. Hey. Ah. And you guys thought I was gonna push this. Whoops. She's hanging up. Yeah, right there. Need a longer cable. Well, like power cord. Haha. Ta-da! That went smooth. Nah, not really. Now my favorite part, picking it up. Haha, no. This is where I can't wait to get a hydraulic, electric over hydraulic lift. Lift. But for the price of this one, I'm not going to complain. Even though I just did. That's right. That looks good enough. Re-engage those so it doesn't try to roll on me. This should have a parking brake, but it doesn't. I don't know why. I think it does. I don't know. Hey, look, a spot I should hook from. Let's see. Should I just do that or hook it right? I'll just put it right on the hook, honestly. I like that better. Why is it facing the wrong way? Will that pick it up? Doesn't like it. But it's doing it. Alright. Let's go up a little bit. As this lift goes up, it goes back a little. I kind of want to avoid watching this fall off. Alright. For safety reasons, just make sure it doesn't move. Okay. Okay, now I can see everything. Yep. Okay. Alright. I gotta blow it out. It's full of grass. Alright, let me show you guys what the problem is now. Alright, you see this rig right here? That's supposed to have a little kink and then go straight. It's not supposed to be twisted like it is. Focus! Too much stuff in the way. You see, that's about to fall out. That's ridiculous. Now this one over here doesn't exist because it's right here. What kind of a cheap stinking design do you call that? They shouldn't have put flat stock in for that, because that you're pulling here and pulling there, and you're purposely twisting it. Well, you see how that worked out? This side's about to break, the other side broke off. It's a little dirty in there. I got to clean that up a bit, but that's what I got to fix. And I also got to fix this sensor right here, because this is a little slappy. This one's not as slappy, but that's the major problem. So I got to twist that back, and I'm going to reinforce it a little bit. I've got some steel sitting over here on the shelf that I'll figure out what size I need and stuff in there. But that's a ridiculous setup, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, this thing is used pretty heavily, but there's no reason why that should be an issue. So now that I see what I've got going on, let's get some of that cleaned up a little bit more and assess some of the steel I have and figure out how I'm gonna go about doing it. Alright, here's the plan. I'm gonna take the mowing deck right off, get it right out of the way. Then I'll probably drop the lift down a little bit, and I'll stand this sucker about straight up. That way I can get to it from the bottom. I think there's gonna be a lot more room for me to be able to work on that, plus I can get most of the grass out of the way and blow all that out a little bit better. Alright, let's get this thing situated and get this mowing deck off. Shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. I mean, I only have to worry about one hanger. Alright, here's a better look. She got her up in the air. Now you see this one right here. See how twisted that is? Obviously that one's broke off. Let me show you how this is supposed to work here. This is how they have them set up. Let's put a little wiggle. But the way this is supposed to be, let me put that in there real quick. It's supposed to ride like so, but all the pressure is causing it to ride right on the edge, which is not ideal. So this one I need to twist, and obviously that one I need to replace or put back on. But what I'm gonna do, I'll show you. I'll get them fabricated, but I'm gonna take. Let's go to the top side real quick here. That light's bright. So, gotta hold the seat up. I'm gonna take a piece of angle iron and go from the pipe that it rides on somewhere in here. That way it'll avoid anything else but strengthen it. And like I said, I'll grab a piece of angle iron. I'll show you a little bit more in detail of what I'm gonna do here. Let me just do that. Alright, so this is the way it's supposed to be-ish. Here's the pipe that it rides on, and so on and so forth. I'm going to take a piece of angle iron like this. I'm going to actually trim the top of it so it's flat onto this piece, and then go to the pipe. That way it'll brace it here. It'll keep it from wanting to twist, keep it from wanting to go in and out, in theory. But from what I can tell, when you look in there, let me turn my light on. Okay. But I mean, when you look in there, you got your pipe there. It's not going to interfere with anything. So I think that's what we'll do. That should prevent, like I said, twisting. It should strengthen it up quite a bit. But this poor thing, like the spring was hooked up here. I don't know why. Let me double check that one. I know I just looked at it, but yeah, the spring's all the way down there. So I don't even know why they put a hole there, but I'm going to get this straightened back out as best I can. Because I'm pretty sure that the bottom is the angle it needs to be. I mean, minus the twist. So I'm going to do a little beating on that. And then this one, obviously I'm going to have to straighten it in there. So I'm just going to have to get a crescent wrench and put it on there. Give her the old hoo-ah, get her straight. So But first, I think I'm going to strap this down so it doesn't want to wiggle. It's kind of wiggling. I guess what we'll do now is we'll start by straightening this one out the best we can, so we get an idea how the angle iron's supposed to be lengthwise and stuff. Let me make sure this isn't cracked. No, it's not as bad as that one. Alright, cool. That makes me happy. Alright. If you've never used a crescent wrench to make adjustments to metal, you're missing out, because this is the easiest tool to bend flat steel and such. Just like that. That looks correct, I think. Right down there could be twisted. I probably should have started down here, but that's okay. Well, that's as good as it's gonna get, I suppose. That's weird because this has just a single hole for the spring. The other one has a second hole back there, but I don't know why. I don't know if there's supposed to be a sensor hanging on that one, but that doesn't make any sense for the lift. I shouldn't have one. I don't know. Oh, look at that. Here's the old sensor for the thingamajigger. Cool. Alright. Yep. Yep. Okay. Let me go grab a piece of angle iron. Let's get an idea if that hurt. Alright. Alright. So here's the angle iron I cut out. That's going to go where the hanger mounts. This will be going right on the pipe. And it'll sit in here just like so. That way you're avoiding the spring and you're avoiding the hook end, but it's putting a lot more stress on this angle iron versus twisting a piece of flat stock. Because that makes sense, I think. So here's what I'm going to do. I still got to straighten the other one out, but now that I have my dimensions and stuff for this guy, I will cut it out, get it set up for the other side, and then I can start working on getting that one reattached. Yeah, that'd be nice. Well, I'm kind of glad I took a look at this before I got burning too much wire. But you see the angle this one's pointed to the left? That one also points to the left. I didn't realize that at first, but like I said, I'm glad I noticed that. So I got it straightened up as best I could. This crack spot, I ground it down a little bit, get some paint out. I'm going to run a bead right in there. I know the best way to get rid of a crack is drill a hole at the end of it, but I'm going to weld front and back, just make sure that doesn't want to crack anymore. Then I got to clean that up. Then I got to figure out how these are going to set in there. Clean those spots up. I don't want to weld these on until that's mounted, and I want to make sure those are in place correctly. Then I'll weld the bracing on. So I'm going to get that done. I'll get this remounted in there, and then we'll start working on putting that in. Alright, we got her all mocked up. Ended up attaching the angle iron first. That way everything will just sit right in there, because I wouldn't be able to weld it on without it being in there first. So it's going to sit just about like that. I'm going to have to fill the hole, which is fine. So let me see. I do have a fire extinguisher directly behind me, just in case things get a little bit warm. Alrighty, we got her in there, just tacked. I'm gonna weld it in the rest of the way now, but wanted to make sure everything fit the way it was supposed to, everything moved the way it was supposed to, and so far so good. As you can see, I've got some towel stuff back in there. I got them soaked with gas. I figured if we're gonna light her up, we're gonna make a heck of a show. No, actually, I used that one in my Massey seat because it rained all day, so that's nice and wet. Where'd you put your glove at? It's over there. Come here. I'm not as flexible as a 2x4. Okay, so I'm gonna weld here, and then I'm gonna lift the deck so I can get in there and get the angle iron a little bit better. Oh, let's get her done first. That got warm. But we didn't catch anything on fire, so that's good. I did weld a little bit hot just to make sure I penetrated good. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna block your view for a minute. I wanna make sure I did a good all right job. All right, let's get the thing pulled up. Oh, yeah. The thingamajigger, my bobber. Aha, like that. All right. It's almost better for me to do it from up here. I might just do that. I'll weld it up here, we'll get this side done, and then we'll work on the other side. There, one side done. Figured I'd start with the worst. She's pretty stiff now. It doesn't seem to want to tweak or anything. That's exactly what I wanted. So I need to get this side done. I got to get the angle up in there and figure out where I need to clean the bar off. And then I will fix his sensor that I can see quite well right there. That one, yep. Then I'll bring the mowing deck back in and we'll get her hooked back up, see how it works. Haha. Okay, so the sensor up here he wanted me to look at. I've never worked on one of these, but I got looking, and you see there's a linkage that goes down, and then you got linkages that go this way. Well, if you've never worked on one of these before, these are your brakes, your parking brakes, these cogs with these stoppers. Well, you got your linkages up here, and this pivots on that, and that goes up here. Now watch, I'll push this into drive. See that move? You hear the click? Alright, well, the sensor's disengaged, it's ready to go. Sensor's engaged, parking brake set. Come over here, it's the same setup. That sensor wasn't pushed in all the way, so the way to adjust that is right here. You simply take the rod out, change the holes. Now, the top rod and the bottom rod are different sizes, so you don't mess it up. Probably for different angles and such, but I literally moved the top one forward one, and now that's where it needs to be. This one's working the way it's supposed to be already. And I actually took adjustment out of the spring, make sure everything was good, and it doesn't need any more spring. This was tightened up all the way on both sides, and this wasn't touching. Now they're both touching, and I got it almost a ½ inch back. So, oy. I'm gonna say that's figured out. I'm gonna get my tools picked up. We're gonna get this thing back down, not on the ground, but on all fours. And then I'll get the mowing deck pulled in, put the mowing deck back on. But I might clean it first because there's about 475 tons of grass underneath it. So we'll jump forward to that part. I don't want to bore you with cleaning the mowing deck because that's boring. A little bit. Well, look at that. Mowing deck is off. It's holding itself up finally. Heck yeah, that turned out pretty good. I'm working on leveling the deck a little bit. I don't want to do too much while it's on the lift because my lift's not very flat, but still gotta see exactly how high the front needs to go. But yeah, I ran out of daylight, so I'm gonna go clean up, sleep this off. We'll get up tomorrow and we will take this thing for a spin and see how it worked out. Well, good morning. It's before noon, so it's morning. I get up and I look out the window. I saw this and I just had to record this. This is hilarious. Apparently I have a new driver for my hot rod. Oh, the fun stuff I have in a toddler. Yeah, alright. So anyways, let's get in here oh my goodness, I gotta move some stuff apparently. Let's get this thing fired up. Now, like I said, last time he'd start it, he'd pull the left arm in and it would just shut off. So we'll make sure that's the way it's supposed to be, and then we'll just take it out, drive it around for a minute, I guess. Make sure everything feels good. Okay. So this is my first time actually mowing with the 0 turn. Don't pick on me. My lines don't look too bad. Well, mowing deck comes off the ground evenly. It moves, which is 2 things it didn't do. That's a done deal. Alright, guess I'm gonna get this loaded up and we'll go haul her back and drop her back off to the owner. I have a really cool video I want to do next week, so hope you guys stick around to watch that one too. But I hope you enjoyed the one this week here. I'm gonna go get to work so I can continue on with my fun project. So you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.